The topic on all of our minds is MrBeast really getting cancelled?
Or has the internet just gone too far?
Break out your dial-up connections because we're going to look into this. You're very welcome back to Unstable TV. So, we're talking about the controversy going on currently about MrBeast.
At the minute, the internet is possibly digging up a bit of dirt on a couple of people that worked with him and maybe things that he's done himself too. So this is what we're going to be talking about today, and we want to hear your thoughts at the end.
So if you guys haven't checked or haven't been in the know of what's going on, check out X, formerly known as Twitter, where pages have just been doing a deep dive of what has been going on with MrBeast and his production team behind the scenes and on the scenes, and what way the videos have really been filmed, who he actually is, and the story, is it true or is it not? Danielle's going to bring us through them points right now.
So this controversy kicked off a couple of months ago with Ava Chris Tyson, formerly known as Chris Tyson, who used to work for MrBeast. So Ava Chris Tyson worked with MrBeast all the way back since 2012, and she was collaborating with him and friends with him and helping him out with the channel all the way since then. So in July last year, Ava Chris Tyson left MrBeast's company due to allegations that were made about her. Whether they're true or not, we don't know. But these are what the allegations are. That she had sent inappropriate messages to a minor when she was 20. So the inappropriate messages were of sexual nature. So she was 20 and the person in question was 16. Now since then, the alleged victim here, the 16-year-old at the time, she has come out since on X, formerly known as Twitter, to say that that was a lie and no inappropriate messages were made between each other, that the two of them were texting and were talking about MrBeast's YouTube channel, and that was it. She has said that, and she has come out and said, you know, it's a complete lie and everything's being blown out of proportion in this situation. But this is where all the controversy starts for MrBeast's channel. So James, what happened next?
So after that, things exploded in the MrBeast production, because we may as well call it production, because at this stage it is a production. Unsafe conditions on the set of Beast Games. Now Beast Games have been quite the controversy, and these would have been based on the likes of Squid Games and stuff like that. MrBeast's games usually involve big sums of money. Just outrageous prizes are always given out. Recently, however, the production was slammed by former contestants, so people who had taken part and have now come out to speak about it, that the games themselves had been very unsafe and the staff were negligent with the contestants during the Beast Games. So for anyone that did watch them, a lot of them contestants did not receive adequate food, nor did they receive the right medical care for any injuries. Now this has been quoted and said by an article, New York Times expose titled "Willing to Die for MrBeast." Ouch. Now that alone does not sound good. Contestants have been seen being brought off in stretchers. Now this wasn't shown on the camera, allegedly, and weren't treated for their injuries. Some contestants even report that some of them were appearing to vomit and also pass out during the games, which I'm sure were not shown. We weren't aware that people weren't treated properly on it, nobody fed or given proper medical treatment. They'd passed out and been vomiting. Like, this is just crazy and bizarre. For such a supposedly kid-friendly channel, he cares about his audience and everything like that. That's very, very big on the negligent scale. So Danielle's going to fill us in on just what else the scandal is.
So another thing that has recently came out, this is about Jimmy Donaldson himself. So he is obviously the face of the MrBeast channel. He was caught saying racist and homophobic remarks before, which is a huge no-no. Absolutely no. That is not a good thing. So a YouTuber, which we're not going to name in this video, but if you want to find out more information, I'm sure you can type it in online somewhere, came out in 2017, and she claims that MrBeast, Jimmy, commented on a joke that somebody said about selling black people. So he said, $400, $300 is the most I'd pay. That's a bit out of my price range for stuff like that. Not the best comment to be making, especially when you're on a stage with huge amounts of children watching it. That is just not okay. that's just not an okay thing to say. You don't joke about things like that. And apparently during that same segment from the same YouTuber, he can also be heard in the background saying homophobic and racist slurs as well. Again, you can check that out yourselves. We're not going to post anything like that. But if that is him, that's not a good look at all. But they did come out with an apology. I'm saying they because it is the MrBeast production company that came out and did apologise for it and did say that he accepts that what he said was wrong and he did apologise. So take from that what you will.
A big allegation people have dived into it, and I'm sure of a lot of people, whether you've been on the YouTube streets or not, or you've heard of MrBeast, did we all look at it the same and think of this surely giving away that much free stuff and making it out that he was giving this and that away, and he said he always spent his money on YouTube on something else or gave it away? The first thing, regardless how much we'd love to believe everyone's that lovely, is, was it a scam? And that's apparently what they've dug up now, that some of them videos were actually staged, CGI'd, or a scam. Which is upsetting, because it gave a lot of people, a lot of viewers hope. A lot of people looked up to him for this, and a lot of, I'm sure, teenagers or kids had been watching thinking, I'll go do good. So finding out that this is a scam, allegedly, would not look good for someone that's trying to set the example. So on July 25th, a YouTuber, we're not going to name them, just in case, posted a video titled, I work for MrBeast, he's a fraud. Already the title is giving us a clear indication of what's going to be said in that video. So the allegations range from the team that is running the YouTube with MrBeast fraudulently made the stunts, fraudulently made the giveaways, the money giveaways, who was getting the free stuff, who got the free cars, and just staged everything. This YouTuber also alleged that many of the random subscribers featured in MrBeast's videos are either employees, friends, or other YouTubers, which had been known to the company or the crew prior to the videos, which is upsetting. So it's not organic in any sense. So people felt that they could win a contest by subscribing or sharing, that'd be upsetting. And the saddest part about it was, the YouTuber quoted in the video, they're never random subscribers and you'll never win $1 million. It'll always be given back to either the company, the friend, or a YouTuber that he knows, which is upsetting.
That's sad.
So that's completely fraudulent and just goes against the whole channel. But I'm sure if you were watching at the time and you were a big fan from the start, you wouldn't pick up on these things. You'd think your YouTuber that you love watching is telling the truth. Now, the saddest part, the YouTuber that made the video went on to say, was a lot of his live streams that felt organic were actually illegal lotteries that were promoting gambling to children. Now, this has been a big scandal in the past for our YouTubers, so to see MrBeast doing this as well, like, where do you look? How do you trust the authenticity of any YouTuber after this? So that's one big thing to take away from this. How big of a fraud was he actually? Danielle's going to close us off with our last point.
So just before we started this video, we went on to Twitter we went on to X just to see if anything else happened. And unfortunately, it did. So apparently, when Jimmy and his mother, who was very involved in the channel, was starting to hire people, one of their friends said, I have this person in my family, they'd love to work for you, blah blah blah. Sat them down, done the interview, and during the interview he told them that he was on the RSOL. I'm just gonna show what it is down here. They knew what he did and they still hired him. That by itself, if that's true, because again, this isn't full facts or anything like that, you can find a lot of information about this on Twitter though. The family have been very open about it. So should the MrBeast crew have hired somebody on that list, knowing that, the main focus of the channel is for children to watch?
Now, as we said before, everyone has either seen a clip or something, or watched some type of the videos. It has happened. He is a popular figure on the internet. He's come up somewhere.
I mean, when TMC's came out a couple of years ago to clean up the ocean, and it was from the MrBeast production company, we absolutely jumped on it to help. We done videos and stuff like that on it. We shared it around because it was a great cause.
Yeah.
Because a lot of his videos are for great causes. But does that take away from what's actually happened? So just before people come at us in the comments, we have done stuff around his videos and around the charity work that he does too. Because a lot of his work is charity work and it is good.
Yeah.
But does it that negate all the bad stuff that possibly may happen?
See, this is where it's hard to hear that he's a fraud, because we had even been under the scope of that as well, of helping with his charities and the TMCs and stuff like that. We got really involved in that because we want to do some shape or form, have our channel helping in charity work as well. That's why we have such a big opinion on this as well, because it's like, well, we're after joining up on one of the charity events. One of the saddest thing, I don't know what podcast. See, this is why I'm hoping he's not a fraud and all this isn't true, because it's still in talks and being investigated. The saddest thing, if it is, that he made up the whole story about him being kicked out of the house and doing YouTube videos in his car.
Yeah.
Like, for a lot of YouTubers like ourselves that have been homeless and stuff like that, to hear a big YouTuber say he made it from the ground up and now it's going to come out that he didn't. It was all a lie, it was just a production company. So he said that on a podcast in recent years. So I hope he didn't just pick up a homeless person's story and just use that on a podcast just to try and get views. That's just what I want to say and close on that, because that would have lifted a lot of people up that were doing YouTube going, oh, I can make it, I can do it. Because I felt inspired after hearing it. So really, really hope that isn't the case.
Yeah, and like we said, I mean, everybody has watched a MrBeast video every now and again. Everyone's seeing his chocolates, his MrBeast burgers, his toys, everything that he does and that he's helped. Look at all the videos, his philanthropy and stuff like that he helps people out. No one's taking that away, and we really hope it's real. Really, really hope it's real. But as we are in the YouTube community, this is something that we wanted to speak on because it's going to affect everyone.
Yeah.
It really is. It's going to affect everyone. And I think a big thing is Jimmy himself, so the face of MrBeast, needs to come out and say something.
Yeah.
He's just said the allegations are being looked through and that's it. But so many things are coming out and very little is being said. So I think he just needs to clarify a few things. If he can. Obviously, if they're going through legal things, they can't say anything, but something needs to be said. Because people, if it is fake and nobody says anything, more and more and more and more people are going to believe it. And that's it. 250 people lose their jobs. Now, if it is true, then absolutely things need to change, because that's not okay. But it's a tricky one.
We want to hear what you guys have to say about this. We want to hear your 2 cents, as well as that has been our 2 cents. And we will chop ourselves out of this.